What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, sir, you lost. Next time you win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
Folks at home, welcome to a brand new Ike Live show. Hope you're having a wonderful night. I know we are. It's going to be a great show for you tonight. We've got some special guests on the show in studio. Also have Andy Morgan, the GOAT, joining us via Skype a little later. And we're going to be discussing one of the hottest topics in the sport right now. What's going on with bass? What's going on with MLF? And your thoughts on it. Man, this show is brought to you by some amazing sponsors. I'm going to go down the list real quick. Mystery Tackle Box, Primal Urge Foods, Liquid Mayhem, Dr. Squatch, Hobie Kayaks, TH Marine, Bass University, Founders Brewery, Real Snot, last but not least, Tackle Warehouse. Go to IkeLive.com to get the promo codes for all those great companies. It's going to save you a lot of money. It's going to be big savings on all those products. So go to the website, look for those promo codes. Joining me tonight in the co-host chair, I know you're looking for, the one and only Pete Glusick, but tonight we have a very special co-host in the chair. Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fathead, a.k.a. Wharf, join us in the hot seat
Thank
tonight.
you.
Dave,
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
All right, my man. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Excellent to see you. It's been like 2 months, dude.
It has been 2 months. Been
Seriously,
a long time.
2 months.
It has been a long time, yeah. Pete's indisposed tonight, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Babysitting
Damn,
Jake.
we got a caller already.
Look at that.
Show hasn't even started yet.
Pete?
Damn, it might be Pete.
It's Pete.
Trying to explain himself. It's good to see you, Dave. Everything good with you? Everything going good?
Everything's great. Thank you.
Okay, I noticed you're drinking a Founders. What are you drinking?
Murdering the Dirty Bastard Ale.
Dirty Bastard's a good one.
Yeah.
Dirty Bastard's a real good
Nice
one.
caramel taste. It's good.
It's one of my favorite. On the couch tonight, two of our favorite people in the show. To my left, the one and only Sir Charles in the house tonight, joining us on the couch.
What's up?
Charles, good to see you.
See you too.
I love when you're in studio.
Thanks, man.
You make the show very special.
Stoked to be here next to the cloth, man.
All right,
Yeah.
Dave asked this off before we were on camera.
Yeah.
But you're sporting a Bill Murray shirt, which I love.
Yeah,
Murray T-shirt.
Yeah, chive. I'm a chive guy. I
A
love
chive
the
guy?
Yeah, for the articles.
Yeah, and Dave asked you your favorite Bill Murray quote. Do you
Yeah.
want to re-say that real quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
yeah.
I want to hear it again.
Cinderella boy, about 585 yards, got a 2-iron. Oh, I got that one. It's young Cinderella out of nowhere. Former greenskeeper, about to become Masters champion. Yeah, about 285 left. He's got about a 9-iron. Oh, he's good. It's up there. Oh, it's in the hole. Oh, he's in the hole. Yeah, there you go.
Dude,
yeah.
that's
I love me some Bill Murray. Man.
Dude, that was a good movie. Bill Murray's been involved with some great movies.
Yeah.
Like that movie right there. There's
Yeah.
all these Oscar talks about all these new movies. What's the one that Gaga was in that
yeah.
everybody's freaking out?
That was a good damn movie, though. I'm
but
sorry.
But that movie's better.
The best part about that movie, Caddyshack, is Bill Murray showed up on set and for 6 days filmed and didn't have a script. He just
went.
They said, "Go be Bill Murray."
Wow.
But that was
Okay.
the 80s, dude.
Yeah, that was when stuff was
Yeah.
funny.
Now this is a great
Yeah.
segue.
Yeah.
Joining us, other guests on the cast couch tonight. Next to Charles, the one and only Eric, the intern. E, how you doing
What's
tonight?
up, guys?
Do
I'm
you-
here. My quaff's here. We're all here.
Now, do you remember watching Caddyshack? Have you ever watched Caddyshack?
When I was very young.
You did?
But
You did watch it, though?
I did. I
Okay.
did. I'm educated on Bill Murray to an extent.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wow,
But, Mike, you got to
just made me
understand,
proud.
for Eric, Bill Murray is like Charlie Chaplin to us. You know what I mean? Like,
Ancient.
yeah, dude.
Ancient
Like,
stuff.
you know, like, you know what I mean?
Black and white.
Yeah, dude. Like, seriously, think about I guarantee you, but we did the math,
crazy.
dude, when we
Yeah.
were,
Wow, it's crazy. Let's give you some other ones, real quick while we're here. Spies Like Us.
Nope.
No.
You don't know Dan Aykroyd?
Doctor,
I know Dan Aykroyd.
Doctor.
Not that movie, though. Coneheads?
Airplane One. Airplane 1.
Nope.
Airplane 2.
Nope.
Damn. Holy
Tag,
hell.
Lethal Weapon?
Naked Gun?
Nope.
Naked Gun 2.
No Lethal
Nope.
Weapon?
Evil
2.5.
Dead.
Evil Dead, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rambo?
That was like
You just,
yourself.
you just
5
saved
there.
yourself.
Dude, Rambo?
Yeah.
16 Candles?
No.
No Long Duck
No,
Dong, dude?
16.
Hey.
All right, how long are we going to do this for?
Damn it.
I've seen some movies. I haven't seen others.
All right, let's keep going.
yeah.
Back in the booth tonight, pushing buttons, producing this show, making it all happen, the one and only Brian the Carpenter.
Yo.
And sitting next to Brian, probably the best person on IMs we've ever had. The one and only the Riz. That wasn't a bust against you.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
I was horrible at
I'm
IM.
just saying. He does great with IMs.
Yeah, he does.
Riz, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Happy to be here.
All right. I like it. Man, we got a caller already?
We do.
Oh, my God.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it. All right, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Kane Simpson from Chester, South Carolina.
How you doing tonight? What's your question?
It's Kane.
Oh,
Kane.
Kane. Oh!
Kane.
Kane! Kane, what's up?
Not much. I didn't have a question.
You do have a question?
No, I didn't know if I had one. I can make up one. I can think of one.
Yeah, make something up real quick. It would be
Photoshop a
good.
question.
Why do bumblebees want to eat my house up?
What?
That's my
again?
question. I got bumblebees eating my house up.
Bumblebees.
Yeah, carpenter bees eating my.
Yeah, you
Maybe
got-
ruin this.
Oh, they're-
All right, so we
They're
have an
fun
answer
with a
for
tennis racket.
Yeah,
we have an
exactly.
answer for
Yeah,
that.
or wiffle ball.
No,
Wiffle ball.
Yeah.
no, got a better answer
Flamethrower.
for that. So, bro, you get a jar. You get like a mason jar. You get some kind of jar, peanut butter jar, and you drill a little hole. You drill about an eighth inch, quarter-inch hole in the top of that jar, and you hang it. Put a little bit of syrup, put a little bit of honey in the bottom. You hang that, John. Them carpenter bees will go in there. They'll die. They're not smart enough to get out of that hole. They'll go in there, they'll suck around, and they're trapped. Dude, in 2 or 3 weeks, we have like 30 of those Johns. The whole jar will be full. I'm telling you.
Some search.
Dude, it's like a Texas rig Senko. You can't go wrong with that shit.
little
I've
syrup.
just been using my little grill spatula. It's been working pretty good.
That's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. By the way, let everybody know that Kane has the best videos on Instagram, the best content.
The best Instagram of fishing.
I would have to say it's right up there.
Yes.
Right up there. Amazing stuff. We love it.
I appreciate it. I don't think it's the best, but it's okay.
You also get an award tonight. I don't know what we're going to give you, but we've never had a caller 5 minutes into the show before.
Right.
So
Well,
And got to hear the phone
I'll tell
ringing.
you why I called. I'll tell you why I called. I was going to call like 2 shows ago, and Brian was kind of upset because I didn't. And I just got through coming out of my little media room working on a video, and I seen what time it was. So I said I better call because my phone's about to go dead, and my phone only charges on a wireless charger, not a cord, so it kind of limits my time. So there we go. That's why I called it early.
it sounds like Dave's phone, but actually it's not a phone. It's a beeper.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dave
Get out of
has
here,
Ain't
his
been
dude.
one of those
I
in
gotta-
years.
Sky
tell you-
pager.
If I can get rid of that phone tomorrow and go back to the days of not having one, I absolutely would. I guarantee
Amen.
you.
Dude,
Yeah.
nobody even calls you.
A few people do.
I tell you something.
To tell you the truth, I always listen to people call in, and I always wanted to just call in to see what it was like, to be on this end.
Well, we like it. We like this is one of the best calls we ever had. I think
Yeah,
5
call-
minutes in the show.
Call back in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, call back 2.5 hours and see what it's like.
Just getting warmed up.
Kane,
totally
Wheels
different.
fall off.
Kane, when are you gonna come up here and fish the Chesapeake Bay with us? Dog?
Oh, yeah.
I would love to.
Well, come on, man. You got space. I got space.
It can't
on
be
the
that
Triton
far of a
for you.
drive. What's it? Probably 4 hours? 5 hours? Can't
7.
be too far. Nah,
I'm
7?
not sure. I would imagine for about a 13, 14-hour drive.
What?
Nah, 7. I'll meet you in the
7?
middle.
I know I used to ride with my dad a long time ago when he was a truck driver in Medford, New Jersey, and it took us about 13 hours straight to get there.
Dude,
Well,
when you were like 21, you spent more time than that in a month chasing sniz. You could drive up and make that run.
Yeah.
Man, stop.
Yeah, I could do that. It ain't no problem.
Kane, in the third week of June, the frog bite will be absolutely bonkers on the bay. It'll be worth the drive.
All right, I'll see what kind of things I can pull to get off.
It's also like
But yeah, I would definitely love to go fish with y'all. I would love to to hang out with y'all and just see what it's like.
We need to set it up.
Good.
If not, we'll find a halfway spot.
Yeah, I'd
we'll
rather
do
go
it.
down there. It
That's a
sucks
good
up here.
excuse for a road trip.
I know there's a good lake in Tennessee and Kentucky. There's a couple good lakes in that area. And that's not
Kentucky?
halfway.
That's not halfway.
What's that? Halfway to
we
what?
should-
Might be halfway.
Halfway across the country.
Yeah, halfway from him to the Piggly Wiggly for us, that's like goddamn 25 hours, dude.
All right, it's good hearing from you, Kane. We're going to keep this going.
Yep. Good talking to you,
All
buddy.
right.
Later.
Say, Kane.
All right, hey, this is going to be a good show. Brian, I want to remind everybody watching tonight, you're watching a brand new Ike Live show here on a is it Tuesday? Tuesday night. It's a great night to have an Ike Live. It's going to be a good show. Once again, we've got Andy Morgan joining us tonight, the GOAT, the one and only recent winner of the MLF event. He's going to be joining us a little later in the show. Early on, Dave, we're going to be talking BASS, B period, A period, S period, S period, and MLF. We're going to be talking about what the halfway point in the season. We're going to be talking about. We want to get people's thoughts and opinions on what organization's doing the right thing. Is one doing the wrong thing? And we really want to hear from you. Hit us up on the IM right there next to your screen. Also, Brian the Carpenter, phone lines are going to be open a lot tonight, right?
Yeah, they weren't, and apparently they were.
There you go.
Oh, I'll get it started. I take Stone over Zona any day of the week.
Okay, you like Stone over Zone. All right, let's not jump
Yes.
to that. Let's not jump to that yet.
Yes, I don't forget.
All right, let's not jump to that. Let's not jump to that. Also, in the third segment of the show, we're going to be doing some really unique things. We're going to be doing Ike Live trivia for this amazing Ike Live gift bag, loaded with product from every single sponsor I mentioned. There's even a Hobie kayak in there somewhere. I know it looks small, but it's in there.
That looks heavy.
We're also going to be doing a MTB unboxing, Primal Urge Foods unboxing. We're going to be eating some of that meat.
That's right.
And also a TH product review. We're going to be doing that a little later in the show. If you're watching on Facebook right now, listen to me. Please like and share this show. If you like what you hear, if you like what you're watching, like and share it with your buddy. If you do that, we're going to put your name in a random drawing for another great prize, right?
That one of them bags.
Another bag right there. We're going to be giving away another bag. It's going to be a great show. So let's get it started. Before we do that, Dave, we always do. We want to thank policemen out there. We want to thank firemen, EMT, and we especially want to thank the military, men and women. Thank you guys, veteran active. Thank you guys for what you do. Crazy crazy world, Dave. Crazy.
So here's a little side note that probably nobody knows. Almost as many first responders have died since 9/11 from 9/11 related cancer than died on that day.
Wow. You're serious?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's rough.
Wow.
Be grateful for what you got, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heavy
Jesus.
stuff.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's going to be a great show. Brian Carpenter, I want to jump right into it.
Get it.
And just start, we always kind of start by doing a little bit of a recap. And I want to recap a couple things here. We got this big thing sitting here. Brian, can you zoom in on that? I don't know if that works. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Grab a side. I'll grab a side.
I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
No.
We got a.
Don't strain yourself, Dave.
You don't want to celebrate yourself?
Hold on, let me hear it. Can you hear that?
Victory.
Sounds kind of hollow.
Sounds like winning.
The sound of hollowness.
Sound of victory.
Hope that's no foreshadowing for later in the show.
That's like 10, that was like 10 years ago, though, wasn't it? Like we just learned about it.
I know. This is the MLF Cup trophy. I got to win a cup all the way back in August, but it just aired like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So dude, it's very, very confusing, sort of, and it's very anticlimactic because, dude, when you win, you're pumped up. Like the finals that I was in to win that. I mean, dude, hammerheads.
Yeah.
Like hammerheads all over. Like
Killers.
The young hammerheads. Like you look over there, and there's Ayler, and there's Polinick, and there's Wheeler, and you're like, oh fuck. And then you look over there, and there's Mark Davis, and there's Gary Klein, right?
Reese.
And dude, you look over there, and you're like, oh god. Like, and that's honestly like your mindset. You're like, there's no way. These dudes are killers, all of them. And dude, everything's got to work, and it falls into place. And you know how it is, dude. When it's your time to win, I found the pattern early. I ran with it. It was. If you watched the show, it was crazy. It was like up and down. I was never in the lead for any period of time. It was always up and down, and it feels good, man. It feels good to beat those guys.
So here's a little
I'll tell you.
Here's a funny side note. When these things happen, Like, I know they're super delayed. It's almost
Yeah.
like watching Baywatch in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, they're just now finding out who Pam Anderson is.
But I know,
They're just
I know,
now
dude.
finding out who she is.
It was like she.
See Pam
Yeah,
Anderson
no,
or
it was
back
like
then?
way before the head.
Yeah.
You know, like no, but I gotta call Brian and be like, but I gotta
leave Pam Anderson?
I gotta call Brian and be like, Brian, when was this, dude? Before I call him, look like an asshole. Like when did he win this?
It-
He's
dude,
like, dude, that was like a year ago.
I know it was. It was honestly last summer. It was last summer, and it's funny because you win, and there's all this excitement, man. And you're so happy, but you can't tell anybody. You literally sign. I sign an NDA that I can't even tell you guys.
But I don't
You know
even
what
ask.
mean?
I don't put you on the spot. I don't ask.
No,
you
no, I know,
you
but
what I mean?
and it's funny. So they go through this interview process and these pictures and these videos, and I'm sitting there with Marty and Lurch, and they're like, "Man, congratulations! Lift that trophy over your head." And you're like, "Yeah." And then the camera, the red lights on the camera when they're recording, the red light goes off, so they're not recording anymore. Then, dude, all of a sudden it's just like breakdown. Like they're breaking the stuff down. They grab the trophy from you. They like rip it out of your hands. They put it in a box, and they start using box tape to pack this thing up.
Oh,
and I just don't mean a strip, dude. It's like, and they give it to you, and they're like, "Don't open this until the show airs." And I'm like,
That's it.
so here's the funny story. So I come back, and the only person I tell is Becky, right? Because that's my wife. I'm gonna tell Becky. I'm like, Becca won, and here, get back, and I'm like, here's the trophy. I'm like, let's put it somewhere because we can't open it till the show airs. And literally, the show finally aired like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I started getting texts and calls, from people, congrats, and I like kind of forgot about it. I'm
Would you
like,
accidentally ship it to a fan as a prize package?
No, that would actually been great. That would have been awesome.
Probably more like it.
But so the show airs, and I like call Beck, and I'm like, Beck, the show finally aired. I'm like, we can unbox the trophy. And there was this real long pause and silence. She's like, where is it? And I'm like, I don't know.
Exactly.
We literally
Exactly,
lost
dude.
it. It took like 2 or 3 days to figure out where we had put it. But
And
we unboxed it.
For the people watching and listening, you don't know. Like the Ike and Ellie's have thousands of like boxes the size that this would fit in all of the different areas.
Thousands.
Like I mean, there's so many different.
It could have been right.
Like
Yeah.
there's so many
You're
different
kind of
ones,
a hoarder,
man.
Mike. You still have all the boxes from when we were kids.
I'm a hoarder, but it's not to mention Bash University,
Yeah.
Ike Live, Ike Foundation.
Foundation,
Dude,
yeah.
there's all that
Yeah,
shit.
there's all kinds of boxes.
Boxes for everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what anything is anymore.
No, I know.
So
That's what I'm saying.
confused.
It's easily could be
Yeah,
misplaced.
but it was awesome. So
Yeah, congratulations.
like
thank
the
you.
Holy Grail getting put away in that storage and
Yeah, exactly.
Raiders
dude.
of the Lost Ark.
The
Yeah,
Ark,
that
the
was-
Ark,
Ark of the Covenant.
the Ark of the Covenant
Yeah.
in the basement of that Ethiopian church. That's where it's at, supposedly.
But Ethiopian church?
Research that.
Wow.
No, it's at Oak Island. It's Oak Island.
No, Oak Island's all
on
the
Oak Island.
alleged gold of
Dude,
the.
speaking of Oak Island, I have to say this real quick. Like, that's the kind of show that freaks me out.
Yeah.
Oak Island has gone on like the 7th or 8th season, yet somehow they fucking didn't renew Fish My City. Like, fucking really?
Right.
The fucking assholes are looking for something that doesn't exist.
They-
It's total
No, they
bullshit.
found a coin.
and you're
They found a
renewing
coin
that
last year.
shit.
They found a coin. I found a
dude,
coin.
There's no way.
My wife's like, stop watching it. They're never gonna find anything.
I
They
gave
found a
up
coin.
on
They
all
found a
those
coin.
shows like 3 years
What?
ago. I'm like, wait,
Dude,
The hell?
they're
Hanging
like,
on.
What?
they
What?
never find anything. All those shows that start with questions,
Yeah.
end with more questions.
Yeah.
Found
There's
a
never
coin.
an answer.
Dude, let me look in the camera and say this. Get a close up real quick. Let me look in the camera and say this. Everybody watching right now, I want to say this.
oh no.
Oh,
I
no.
swear to you, I promised everything you saw in Fish My City happened. I caught those fish. I worked hard. Sweat and tears went into those fish catches. And then you go to Oak Island and they're liars.
Dude,
Bullshit.
they found like two like early whatever century Spanish pennies. Like
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's crap.
Cool.
It's crap. It's crap. And an interesting thing, and I don't want to give something away that's going to happen later in the show, but I was into that stuff a little bit. I used to do a little amateur archaeology myself.
Yes,
Brian
yes.
Yeah, did
Yeah,
back
you
in the
used to
day.
dig
it.
Dude, when you weren't finding shit, you were on to the next place.
Yeah.
You were freaking out of there. That motherfucker's been stuck on an island for 7 years. Get the hell out of here.
What the hell
Air
is
it
Oak
out.
Island?
Oh
So-
my God! There's something else.
I have no idea what Oak Island is.
hasn't seen that either.
I'll give it to
I'm
him.
with you.
I'll give it
I'm
to him
with
in
you,
15
Eric. I haven't
seconds.
seen that shit.
So Oak Island is a little island off the coast of Nova Scotia that allegedly the Knights Templar. Do you know what Knights Templar are?
Sure.
Oh no.
Oh goddamn.
It's not important. Move on. Move on.
This is going to be a lot longer than a
Of course
3-hour
not.
show. I can tell you right now.
Of course not.
Did your quaff pay attention in history class?
All right.
Tonight's
so like,
Ike Live, the Knights Templar.
As read by Dave.
like
He said
dude,
15 seconds. So
all right, I know, but everyone's laughing. I can't talk over that. So, dude, I'm gonna quickly. This group of like Christians, dude, guarded a bunch of gold, raided Jerusalem a bunch of times, fought the Muslims back and forth, got a bunch of cool stuff, allegedly sailed it across the ocean and buried a pile of it on this island off the coast of Nova Scotia. All right.
And what season is this show on?
What's it? It's on one of them channels.
Season.
Oh, yeah,
I was like,
I don't even know.
my God.
So these brothers own the
big island,
island.
bro.
These brothers own
wanna watch TV.
own the island, and they dig for this. Now they're not the only ones. At least for the last 50 years, people have been digging for this, and they're finding these different layers, and they think that there's like these traps that were built. I don't know. Whatever, dude.
It's
That's
television.
the show. I don't know.
Dude, that's
Professor Bras.
dude, they get me. The gold shows get me too. You see those gold shows?
Gold Rush?
Dude, Gold Rush.
Gold
There's
Rush.
actually a couple of them. There's like Yukon Gold. There's gold. There's all these shows.
Alaska.
Dude, you watch
the,
it.
the deep sea diving gold
Oh,
guys.
dude, they are killing
Bering Sea
themselves.
Gold,
Dude,
Bering
they're
Sea Gold.
killing themselves. Working like shit's breaking every time. Dude, they're spending millions of dollars. Dude, I mean, people are getting hurt. People are like they're going through divorces. They're in debt. It's worse than being a pro fisherman, right? It's terrible. And at the grand finale of the season in these gold shows,
Yeah.
dude, they'll hold up a cup
Yeah.
that's about that big, and it's filled with gold dust. Not even all the way, like 3/4 of the way. Like, yeah, we did it. And I'm looking at that. I'm like, what?
I can add to that.
Are you kidding me?
All that? For
Listen, I can add to that. I'm in the shipping industry, and I'm going to tell you right now, guys, it's more profitable for guys to ship old computers and old TVs and siphon the ore from those when they melt them down than it is to go dig into the ground. We ship
Wow.
thousands of pounds of that shit
crazy.
throughout,
Wow.
and that's everybody throughout the hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Damn.
And it's just big, giant plastic pallets of just the computer towers, and all they're doing is melting them down to get that little tiny knuckle of ore, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
So Rich has a comment on the IM board.
Rich, go ahead.
Joseph, this is for Dave. Joe Solari wants to know if you're feeling comfortable in that chair, Dave.
What the fuck, Joe?
Oh, are you feeling comfortable?
Do I look like an asshole, Joe? What am I doing wrong?
He thinks you look a little uncomfortable.
I'm
like
upright. I mean, this
like-
isn't a fucking lazy boy. Look at it, dude. It's like a Mork and Mindy fucking.
Are you worried? Are you worried that Pete's gonna show up with a sword and cut you out of the chair?
I'll go back. I took slight to that IM comment. I'll go back to the IM right now. I mean, I'm happy on
I'll
there.
fight you on the IM board.
Fight you.
Yeah.
Speaking of IM, I'll remind everybody, we do want to hear from you tonight. We're going to be talking about a lot of great stuff. Hit us up on the IM. Also, we're going to have a phone number listed a little later in the show. We want to hear from you. Let me mention one other thing, and then we're going to get on to our big topic, Brian the Carpenter. Last tournament was MLF tour event on Chick, and Annie Morgan won. It was a great event. A lot of fish caught. I'm really happy. I ended up 5th. I'm really happy. I busted 200 pounds in 4 days of fishing,
That's
dude.
wild, bro.
I'm really proud of that. That's hard to do, man. I think I ended up with 203 pounds, which is the second heaviest weight ever caught in a MLF tour event. Now, all that stuff's liable to be broken next week at Smith Lake in Alabama, because it's going to go down there big time too.
Yeah, gonna be on the beds.
You're going to catch a lot of spots. You're going to catch a lot of. You're liable to catch 40 to 60 spots a day, and even if they weigh a pound to 2 pounds, do the math, dude. It's a tremendous amount of weight, But man, fun. I had a fun tournament. It was interesting because I got off the beaten path. I didn't have a lot of pressure. That's like the dream tournament, dude, where you're not competing. You're not running into dudes like every 5 foot. It felt so nice. I was doing my own thing. I was in dirty water. I was cranking. It was freaking great. And I think there are definitely, we are, how many events in to MLF now? 4 events in or 5 events in? 4 events in. We're at the halfway point. There are definitely big, huge things that I think MLF is doing right. I think the coverage is great. I love the format of live. I like the catch. If it weighs a pound or more, It counts. I think that's great. I think it shows, it's a lot more impressive to somebody that doesn't fish to watch that, There's so many things they're doing right. The no entry fees, I think, are great. I think MLF is game-changing on a lot of topics. But, Brian, this is a good segue to talk about, we're at the halfway point between both circuits. Between BASS, MLF, we're about halfway between both of them. And, man, there's, you think it would have died off, Dave, right? Because how many, 6, 7, 8, 10 shows ago, we're sitting here talking about MLF versus bass.
Yeah.
And here we are, halfway through the season, and people are still buzzing about it, right? It's still almost like a bass versus MLF mentality going on. And I really want to talk about that tonight. I want to talk about a few of the recent things that came out, that MLF came out with. I also want to talk about a few of the things Bass has done recently and start discussing a little bit. And I want to get not only everybody's opinion in the room, but everybody watching and listening tonight. I'd love to get your opinion. Brian, you want to jump on? You want to just jump on one of the topics? You want to start on? Just pick one.
I think we should just take the questions from the IM board.
Okay.
Let the people ask the questions, and we have a caller that wants to call in as well.
Okay. All right. Well, so Riz, we're going to lean on you to get some IMs from people.
Yeah, I got some here.
Okay.
Here it comes.
I got one from CBR Fishing, and he said that he thinks that the MLF is fun to watch, but his only gripe is that spreading the playing field across 2 different days can change the playing field for the separate groups of guys. And he wants to know, Mike, how do you feel about that? Because his example is that, if you're in Group A and Group A is fishing, a great day, it's overcast, they're just absolutely snapping. And then, Group B goes out and it's high skies, post front, and you can't seem to get a bite.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Group A and Group B don't compete against.
Yeah, that's a great question. Who asked that question? That's a great question.
CBR Fishing.
CBR Fishing. That's a great question. I don't know that there's a right answer, but I can tell you what I've experienced, which is there's a Group A, there's a Group B. You have no idea what the group before you's doing. You're all in the same boat because they switch A and B every tournament, right? So I'll start in A and one, I'll go to B, I'll still go to A. So it's an even playing field, so I like that. The reason that I like what they did is you have 80 guys. If you were to put all 80 on the same day, right, you do 2 things that I think are negative. I think you overload the fishery, right? So you got 80 dudes on a fishery. North Carolina was a great example. We fished Jordan and Falls, which were smaller fisheries. These were lakes that were like, dude, they were like Jersey-sized lakes, right? They were like Lake Apacog and Greenwood. They were probably like 15, 20,000 acre lakes, smaller, like small, little tiny lakes. So 80 dudes, you would pack them in. You would be running into each other. You'd be crowded. With 40 guys, it breaks it up.
Sure.
It breaks it up, and I like that. I like the fact that 40 guys allows you to fish a lot better fisheries. When you look at the United States,
different.
Yeah, different. Dude,
same old lakes.
Dude, nothing against Guntersville and these amazing fisheries, right? Guntersville, freaking all these world-class fisheries. But dude, there's so many smaller places, right? Yeah. That now we're going to have access to because there will never be more than 40 guys at a time fishing during the day.
And then if you think about it from a coverage standpoint too, it's going to give those 40 anglers more of a chance to shine, rather if you had 80 fishing in one day.
From a coverage standpoint, you hit it dead on the head. And let me tell everybody watching, the grand scheme of Major League Fishing, and this isn't giving away a trade secret or anything, I'm just going to say it, is live camera in every boat. Can you imagine? And they want to do it sooner than later. It may be 2020, right? Can you imagine a day when you can watch and you pull it up on your screen, you got your iPad and you pull it up, and there's 40 anglers, and all you have to do is click on that guy and you watch live what he's doing.
That's pretty cool.
Whether he's catching them or not, right? Yeah. Whether he's catching them or not. If he's bombing and he ain't catching shit, but that's your guy, you click on his name, boom, live feed.
I can't wait for that so I can not watch Lefebvre. That's amazing, dude.
We're still on that.
From New Jersey, it never goes.
Right. Exactly. But that's another good point, right? The ability to cover every dude fishing at one time.
For the anglers.
For the
you know?
anglers.
This is for the anglers.
Yeah. The other thing, the second point I wanted to bring up on the positive is the day off. Dude, and a lot of people watching don't realize, and Dave, you do. You've done it. You've done it at the level. And Charles, you fished kayak tournaments. You know, you fished some local tournaments. Dude, it's tough. When you start stringing 2 practice days with 2 competition, 3, 4, dude, all in a row, dude, it's mentally draining. As I get older, I'm telling you, I'm getting less. I have less energy.
Yeah.
Having a day off, whether it's you're A and you have the second day off, or whether you're B and you have the first day off, it's huge for me.
Do you sleep in?
Dude,
Do you get
dude,
extra sleep?
You
on
sleep
the
in.
Yeah.
You take your time. You do your tackle.
Yeah.
You
Huge.
freaking dude. And look at, honestly, for me as a 47-year-old dude, look at my performance this year. Look at my performance, and a lot of it has to do with the off days. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, it's so.
But is it the other way around? Like if you're having a bad day and you go, is your mind all messed up? Are you like?
I mean,
are you like? Do you overthink it? I'm
no, for me, I had a Conroe this year. I didn't have a great day.
Right.
It wasn't terrible, but I had a pretty mediocre day.
Right.
The day off gave me time to reanalyze what I was doing.
Right.
And I was able to pull up Google Earth and say, look, this is where I caught it, man. If this shit don't work, what could I run to?
Right.
And it definitely gives you more time to recover.
Slug some founders, slug some beer, dude.
Right, yeah, get drunk.
Wash the day away.
Absolutely,
beers,
yeah.
People don't realize the toll that those daily 4 a.m. wake-ups can put on your body.
Oh, dude, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Dude, professional for everybody watching right now that thinks it's all fun and games and easy, it's bullshit. Because, dude, when all that stuff was going down, I never really talked about it, but when all that stuff was going down, where I was getting all the criticism, and there was a little period there where everybody was up my ass. Dude, you have no fucking idea how hard this sport is. You have no idea how hard this sport is. You have no idea how much work it is, how much dedication, time away from home. It's more downs a lot of times than it is ups. Let me preface this by saying I love what I do. I am blessed. I am so happy that I get to do this for a living, but it's not easy, dude. It's not easy.
Guys don't understand that there's levels to this, right? Like, so the single guy competing is different than the family guy competing, right? Like the single guy competing who's trying to make his spot, doesn't have the same stresses that a guy like you does,
dude. And that's exactly what I said something in one of the shows that people flipped about. I can't remember. I was live and I said something, and that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
I was trying to say that. Look, Jordan Lee. That's a young kid,
right? Slinging.
He's got no kids. He's got no bills. He's got no worries.
Yeah,
he's in a different position.
Yeah,
and I don't hold that against him.
No,
I'm just saying that Polinick and Brandon and those young guys are in a different boat, right? They're in a different boat.
They don't have the little girl on the phone. Hey, Daddy, when you coming home? And that'll shut you down.
That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah,
and of course, them freaking trolls turned it into something else.
Naturally, bunch of
whatever. Where were we going with that? I totally know.
Those phone lines. And there is.
No, hold on, man. He was opening up, and you guys are going to shut him down with the phone.
Yeah, no,
all right.
No, but again, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. So the thing I hate is the people that look at it from afar, and don't see it as real life. It's real life, dude. There's work. There's ups and downs. There's having bad days. There's being depressed. There's being sad. There's all that stuff. Whatever you do in life, dude. Nobody's different. Everybody's got problems. I don't care if you're a billionaire or if you work at a gas station. Dude, life is the same.
Yeah.
Life is life, dude. It's not all good. You got to deal with it.
I tell anyone that is involved in fishing, that knows me, that knows I know you, that I wouldn't trade my life for yours. Like, I know that you're an 80-hour-a-week guy, whether or not you're on the road or whether you're here.
Right.
It doesn't stop because you're here. It's not like the rest of us that fish on the weekends and on Saturday and Sunday. We're not off.
Yeah.
You're not off. You're working constantly.
It's a lot of work, and I'll throw it to Charles for this one. Today's a great example, dude. It was calm. We're here in southern New Jersey. It was calm. It was warming. God, dude, the fish, I know the fish were crashing the bank. They were getting spawning. They were just coming up. And me and Charles had to sit in the office today and look out the damn window.
What? Eric trying to catch a.
Aaron staring at his crotch. No, Eric wasn't.
I thought Eric was trying to catch a workers' comp case on his eye hook.
You might have
the first thing you walk into.
That's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? That's for next time.
The first thing you walk in the office, the first thing this morning he says, "Dude, they're on beds.
There's
There's a 5-pounder over there.
They're on
there's
beds,
a 6-pounder,
dude.
and the male is like a 5-pounder. What's she look like?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So the first thing I say, "This is not spreadsheet weather.
This
This is
is
fishing weather.
fishing weather.
All day long. I must have
Spreadsheet.
said it like 7
Yeah.
times, making memes.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Dude,
That's
that
funny.
Lake X is right there.
It hurts,
and
dude.
there's kayaks.
When you know
and there's
they're out
boats,
there.
It's like,
dude, there's a fish sitting. It's 4.5, 4 3/4. It's sitting on the bed. Dude,
You
that's
gotta
the
work.
male. That's the male, dude.
and boss lady's staring at you, going, "You're not good."
He's just sitting there waiting for a Senko to come by, you know, and it
Yeah,
never comes.
Nice little Senko.
But do you
Yeah.
think they all bang fatter broads, or do you think they go with smaller ones?
I
I was
don't
wondering.
know. That's a great.
You know what I mean?
Actually, Brian the Carpenter, jot this down. Riz, jot this down. This is a
thought you were
legitimate
gonna
show. This is a legitimate show.
Okay.
A fisheries biologist come on to ask him those strange questions
Yeah.
like that. That's a
I
great
mean,
show.
generally, the female's bigger.
Generally, the female's bigger, but is there situations where the female's smaller than the male?
Brian's ghost knows that answer.
Or is it whatever you can get? Just take whatever you can get.
Depends what time.
It's like, yeah.
Here's something.
Are the lights on in the bar?
Here's something
Year it
else
was.
I want to throw at you real quick. This is totally off topic. This is more BU than anything else. Dude, there's a fish that spawns in the same spot in my lake every freaking year. So there's a little tiny brush pile that's been there for 5 or 6 years.
I know what you're talking about.
That you come out of where we put in and you make a right and it sits there.
Yeah.
Dude, I went by it this morning. I did just a quick hot lap and I went by it this morning. There she goes. The 3 3/4, almost 4-pounder sitting in the same spot. I broke that fish off last year.
No, that was so. One of my first experiences being on the water with you
Yeah.
was when we went out on the crawdad and
Yeah.
you were just going around fishing for spawners. I think I might have been filming,
Yeah.
and you broke that fish off. And I remember, man, that fish was jumping out of the water with the bait. And
Shaking the hook.
I was like, oh god, man.
Same spot.
Did he
dude,
go
sitting
full?
there.
Did he go full stupid?
I can turn the
Yeah.
camera on and stare
Yes.
at my phone. I can turn the camera on and stare at my phone. Come on, let's go.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's film. But isn't it amazing that they spawn in the same exact places year after year? Like I'm not talking about the same like area, like 10, 20-yard area. Dude, I'm talking about the same spot.
I'm
dude.
not shocked. There's sharks that swim like 6,000 miles and spawn back in
Crazy.
San Francisco every year. They
Crazy,
go
dude.
kill a bunch of people in Hawaii and go back to San Francisco. man. Like,
Stop by, have a meal.
yeah.
Let me go to San Fran.
So the IM board wants to know.
Yeah.
All right. How's the IM doing? Let's
we
get
got-
back
we got
to
plenty.
Bass versus MLF.
Can't wait.
You got it. You got it. All right. So I got a question from Jerry B, and it's for you, Mike. If Bass didn't have entry fees, how would that have affected your decision to go to the MLF?
Ooh, good one, Jerry.
Oh, that's a good one.
Let me just
Get in
jump in
there.
and say that
Yeah.
you guys made the jump before no entry fees was announced.
We did. That's a very, very interesting. In the history of all this, let it be written that the guys.
So let it be done.
Let it be written that the guys did. The guys did make the decision, including myself. We made a decision to go to Major League Fishing before no entry fees are announced. So I don't know how it would have changed my decision. My decision was mainly based on the fact that the anglers were going to have a voice, and that decision to get rid of entry fees was based on that voice. Early on, I think if you would poll the 80 guys, I would say 95% of them made their decision based on the fact that it was presented to us that in MLF, we were the organization, we were going to have control, we were going to have the power to make decisions, make changes, make alterations. We were going to have more of a control of our own destiny. 95% of the guys that made the jump made it because of that. Bass, even after all this was going down, Bass just they just threw up the shield. They just said, we're Bass. It's status quo. We at the time everything was going down. We're like, we were waiting for them to say, we're going to give you power. We're going to let you organize. We're going to let you. They never said it. And here's MLF saying, guys, we want to let you do it. And, early on, things like, no entry fees, tournament format, all those things. We were having a real say in that. And that was very exciting. That's very exciting to me that an organization allows the anglers to have the control. But some things that popped up more recently, it's scary a little bit also because it's sort of gone away from that. So, I said this earlier, and I'll end it like this. I don't want to get too deep. But I don't like this. What happened with Bass and MLF? That separation, that break, regardless of what happens in 5 or 10 years, it needed to happen. It needed to happen. There needed to be a lightning bolt, right?
Of course, correct.
There needed to be a big explosion to make people say, "Oh." So, it's good. It's good. Even with everything going on right now, it's good that it happened. It needed to wake people up. Needed to wake the organizations up. Needed to wake the general body of professional anglers up. And I think it did that. I think it did that. So, yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I subscribe to that, but I'm not going to get into it.
Okay. Okay.
Mike, how would you feel if Bass or FLW per se was going to go to a catch and release format?
Yeah.
And even MLF for this catch and release format, but still do a 5 best fish. But you release, so it would be like a local paper tournament,
right?
Yeah.
I think that's definitely a version of what we're doing that could go. I think the biggest thing, you got to remember, everybody in this room right here, we're all fish heads, right? And I would venture to say 90% or more of who's watching and listening right now are fish heads. So the big argument I'd have against that would be you have to grow something, you have to take yourself outside of that being a fish head, right? To grow something, we got to get to other people, right? We got to get to people that are saltwater fishermen, that are fly fishermen, that fish 5 times a year. Watch Oak Island. Watch the stupid gold show. Yeah. People that don't fish, we got to get to them. What is more impressive to them? What is more exciting to them? Seeing a 5 fish weight tallied, or seeing keeper after keeper, big, and the skill of a guy that catches, Andy Morgan, I think, caught 208 pounds of fish in 4 days. Dude, that to somebody that's not a fish head is impressive.
Numbers.
Or does Seth Fighter catching 13 pounds more impressive?
But that requires us to be retooled, right? So you're talking about the fish heads. For our whole entire career, we've been geared on 5 fish, right?
Me too.
Like, I've never been geared on that amount of fish you're talking about.
Here's my answer to that is you still have bass.
You still have bass.
You still probably have FLW.
You still have FLW.
So
I can tell
I don't understand why everybody kicks and screams over MLF being different. It's just another option.
I'm not screaming.
For me,
I'm just saying, I read a lot of screaming.
For me, it also takes a lot of the luck thing out of the equation. For years and years and years, we've always talked about how do you, I hate the word luck in fishing. I hate it. When you're fishing for 5, your 5 biggest, a big lucky bite, whether that's a thing or not, can change your day.
I've lived through that. You're right.
But when you're catching 40, 30, 40, 50 a day, the big bite, that big lucky bite doesn't mean as much. It's the guy that can pattern fish, the guy that can read the water, the guy that can fish the moment. He shines. He shines because it doesn't necessarily as a big bite is as important.
It'll take time. Imagine if the NFL did away with touchdowns and it was yards.
Right.
Yards passing, yards rushing. Yeah. Defensive negative yards. Like, imagine if they went to that format for their scoring.
Yeah.
Like, we're all conditioned to the big 5 fish.
Well, I can tell you this. I think we're going to take a caller in 1 second, but I can tell you this, and again, I don't think I've given away anything that people don't know. It is the vision of Major League Fishing that all tournament fishing in the future, whether it's 2 years, 3, 5, 10, whatever that number is, all tournament fishing will be Major League Fishing style format, which is catch, weigh, and release.
Yeah, but
and let me just say this. And again, I'm going to stay very neutral tonight. From a conservation standpoint, from a fishery standpoint, preserving the fisheries, preserving the resource, I don't argue with that, right? I don't argue with that. A post-spawn smallmouth tournament on Lake St. Clair, and you got an FLW tournament with 150 boats, and everybody's bringing 5 tired post-spawn fish that have been caught out of 10 to 20 foot of water that have the bends, and they've been gill hooked. Dude, the visions I have of floaters, and I've been involved in some of them tournaments. Yeah. You're idling out of St. Clair shores, and dude, it looks like the apocalypse.
Yeah,
and
That's
they're all
not good,
3
man.
to 5 pounders, dude.
That's not good.
Versus catching a smallmouth, weighing them, letting them go. Dude, that fish has a way better chance to survive.
I was at a BFL one time. It looked like a shocking program.
It did, right? It did. I mean, we've all been involved in those tournaments. Charles, you're on the other side. You're on the kayak side where you guys have done this already from the beginning, where you guys have conserving the resource. Yeah. So you got to give credit to MLF for the vision. I think it's the right vision. I think it is the right vision for the conservation of the fish. Now is it less exciting to come into weigh-in and not have fish? Absolutely. You know, there's give and takes. But when you come at it from the conservation standpoint, from the environmental standpoint, I think they're dead on, man.
I agree.
But dude, listen, man, I'm gonna say something. So, dude, at your final day at your home water on the river, with that
I loved it.
crowd that was there.
Yeah.
It was as wild. We're Philly fans. Like, it is as wild as any Eagles game, any Flyers game. Like, it was
us,
wild, dude.
Goosebumps,
Like, where's that? How's that get replaced
Yeah.
with you know?
Yeah.
With some.
I remember being
I know.
a 17-year-old at that weigh-in.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Oh,
You know
it's
what
crazy.
I mean? Like,
Same,
No, the
man.
fish,
Something to that.
fish, having the fish, holding them. It's so iconic. It's such a part of the sport to have them in your hand,
Yeah.
to rip them out in front, to be able to, you know, it's so iconic. And I mean, that's going to be the big challenge in this change of format is how do you fix that? How do you fix the events portion of it?
And I guarantee you, those river fish in the live wells probably like homeless guys on a waterbed. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't upset. Like, oh, this place is great.
Oh no, they didn't.
This is awesome, dude.
Oh no, they loved it.
Water's back
They
there.
loved it, dude.
4 walls, bro.
You can actually
There's
breathe.
not a syringe in sight up in this joint, man.
No terms to swim against.
Yeah. No, they loved
Condoms
it.
to dodge.
Yeah, they were like, "What are you wussies crying about, man? Shit."
They're the only bass that are happy to be in the live well.
Get me out of this water. Anywhere but here.
That's so dirty.
I can't breathe. I can breathe.
Bastards. All right, this is a great segue. Brian, we've got a caller on the phone. Real good friend of mine, real good friend of the Ike Live show. And he's had a hell of a year on Major League Fishing so far. And we've got him here tonight, and I'd love to hear his opinion. The one and only Gerald Spohrer joins us tonight on Ike Live. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Good. I'm pulling up to Sam Rayburn right now.
Sam Rayburn. All right.
Do you have Boy Duckett with you?
No, by myself. Well, I'm rolling with the guys that own SWAT. We're here. I'm gonna practice with them a little bit for the big bass splash, and then I'm gonna head home, grab my stuff, and head to Smith Lake.
All right, now here's what I want to know. Since we left the chick a couple weeks ago, you got home. Have you had crawfish?
Twice.
Yeah! Yes!
They're delicious.
Man.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Dude, that's the one that's honestly, I love it. I sort of, if I could change myself, if I could just like split who I am, dude, I would live in Louisiana. I would
Really?
live near Gerald. I'd live
Never
near.
been there.
I'm telling, dude, it's the most. The lifestyle there is it's like my soul. You know what I mean? Like, I am a closet Cajun. I swear, dude.
Closet Cajun.
I swear, if you peel away all the other layers, I would live where Gerald lives.
I was at a barbecue one time where an Asian from Louisiana brought real jambalaya, and it was ridiculous, man. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh, dude, the people, the culture, the food, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
I love it.
Cajun.
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 Floating.
Asian Cajun.
Asian Cajun. Floton. All right, Gerald. So I'm glad you called because it's good because I want to remove myself sometimes from the conversation and you know you hear guys you hear so many guys right now and we're halfway through it in both circuits and you hear guys saying MLF versus Bass versus MLF. Give me your take on it. I mean, has it been a smooth transition for you? Do you see positives in MLF? Do you miss Bass? Where are you at mentally now that we are at the halfway point?
Well, it's a touchy subject, and I'm 100% all in MLF. I've completely bought into the mindset, and I think it's very important what we're doing as far as catch, weigh, release, and the business side of it makes a lot more sense to me than it did before. Of course, that's common sense because we're not paying entry fees, and my sponsors seem to be more intrigued with what we have going on than they were before. My title sponsor, whenever I asked him, I said, "Hey, what do you think I ought to do?" He said, "Of course, let's go with MLF." He said, "I like it. I like the format. I like the exposure that's coming." And so far, everyone seems to be very pleased. My fellow anglers seem to be really happy. I like the excitement. And like you said before, I was listening before I got on, and like you said, it takes the luck factor out. I was real. I always had a problem with that. Like you said, how do we eliminate the fact that one big fish can carry a guy into the 50 cut or something?
Yeah.
The way we had it set up before, and I didn't like that. It was. You had at least a third of the field that got lucky to get where they were, and they weren't really on anything. They just caught one big bass or two big bass. But I like the excitement of this and the pace of it a lot more. I guess there's nothing I don't like about MLF.
Yeah.
The reason I really want to call in is because the part that really bugs me is the behavior of a lot of the people on social media is really starting to piss me off. And the part and the reason that is because guys are commenting and they're dividing themselves to pick one side or the other, and it's not even the same deal. And I don't like the fact that they're even doing that because, Bass has this thing going on. I still have a lot of friends that fish over there, and I wish all of them the best of luck, but they're playing a different game than us. And, I think it's real important for the fans of the sport to support both sides because what we're doing is kind of groundbreaking, and and everyone wants to blame Boyd Duckett for everything. And it's ridiculous because it's not just Boyd Duckett. It's Boyd just speaks on the behalf of most of us. And and so I get really aggravated that everyone wants to blame Boyd for what we're doing as a league. But I think it takes a lot of courage for the 80 anglers that stepped up and started participating in this deal. And I really want to defend that, and I defend it every chance I get, that if you're going to sit there and be mad at somebody, you better be mad at all 80 of us. But be prepared to eat your words because this is definitely the way of the future, and there's a lot of good things that MLF is doing. I can't think of one bad thing that MLF is doing. The only bad stuff that's coming out of all this is the trolls that we talk about, the masturbating trolls that like to come out on social media, everybody on both sides. But, it's so far every MLF event we've been to, besides the catch, weigh, release and everything else that we're doing, all that's great. The fact that we don't pay entry fees, and so I actually feel like I can make a living in this sport. But all the stuff we're doing within the community, I mean, we jumped right on board with the autism awareness campaign, which was huge. That was something we had going on before, and we carried that over. And then we're doing the Teach a Child to Fish Day, which is a huge thing that I've been able to participate in. So we have days off now, and so for the anglers to get community, we can't bring fish to the scales and show everyone, but we're doing more in the community now than we ever did before. And it's the format that with the days off and everything, and whether it's releasing baby sturgeon or raising or collecting toys to give back to the to needy kids. Or, it's just everything that MLF is doing is all positive. So I don't understand why these trolls are getting on there bashing both leagues. Because there's a need for both of them. One of them is like a football game, the other one's like a basketball game. We're scoring a lot of points. They're trying to score 7 points every time, and I respect both of them. I still watch Bass Live. I still have a lot of respect for all my fellow anglers that I compete to get us over there, and they're still probably just as challenging of a league as it was before, because good anglers are good anglers. They don't have to be Kevin Van Dam to take your money. I mean, these guys are all taking turns beating each other up. But I just really want people to start thinking about what they're saying and not just getting on Facebook or Instagram and totally bashing people, because I think it's pretty ridiculous and embarrassing for us as fans in general. I mean, it's just no need for all of that. And
Gerald,
as far as
Gerald, this is
people
Brian.
saying, I bet guys would do anything to go back to Bass. I've been reading some stuff like that, and I don't know one single person out of the 80 that regrets doing what they did. Everyone's pretty proud of what's going on.
Gerald, this is Brian, and I'm just a casual observer. I'm watching from afar, watching what you guys doing, and I can 100% see what you guys are so excited about. I think there's so many amazing things going on over at MLF, and I love the conservation aspect. I loved it from day one. You know, the every fish counts thing I think is cool. I like that it's something different. I still like what Bass does. You know, you're talking about the trolls. I think the latest thing was, you know, what came out last week with the email going out to you guys forbidding you from attending the Classic, and yeah, there's a score of questions on the IM board about that right now that have been coming through pretty much since we started the show tonight. I mean, that's really what fired things back up. And from my point of view, from the outside, just observing, you know, were you and Mike polled? Were you and Mike asked about that? From what I understand, you got an email. And Mike, we haven't really talked about this, but did you guys get asked about what your intention was, or if you guys wanted to be able to attend the Classic?
We didn't get an email. We was actually told in a meeting, you know, that this is our idea around this, and this is why we think we ought to do it. And we didn't take a actual vote, but they said, does anybody object? Does anybody object to this idea? And no one in the room objected. And we had some conversations about it, and some people expressed some concerns. But I think, and I don't want to speak for all 80, but if someone wanted to object, they should have raised their hand and said, I'm not doing that. But no one did that. And the reason being is because it's absolutely necessary that we focus all the attention on our league. We focus all our energy on our league. It's not that we want to take away anything from Bass, but they need to do their own thing, and we need to do our own thing. So it's very important for us to focus on that. Well, us going to the Classic, all that's doing is taking attention away from what we're trying to grow.
Yeah, I understand, but I got to respectfully disagree. You guys can wear your MLF costumes to the Classic and promote MLF at the Classic. You know, that still works. I mean, FLW's been, all their anglers been coming to the Classic, and you know, it's not just about supporting Bass. It's about the fans. And I think in this whole thing, and why the fans, why you're hearing so much negativity, the fans are what's being forgotten here. Did anybody ask the fans if they want to be eliminated from this? There's going to be, you know, a Red Crest event not until August of next year, but where's that going to be? And I just don't think that, you know, the fans were factored into this. I love the fact that they're reaching new people. MLF is looking to grow the sport, but by restricting fan access to the anglers seems very contradictory to me. Additionally, you're also restricting MLF anglers from being able to support their sponsors, and maybe that's not a problem right now, dude. You know, but I'd have my eye open on that. I just, you know,
Well, I'll put it to you this way: the fan interaction may be pertaining to the actual Classic. Yeah, we can't take everything into consideration. We do have an ultimate business goal, but since I've been in MLF, I've had more interactions with fans, with the things we do within the community at every event than I've ever done at any other event. and I mean that by the Child of Fish Day, and we might go have a hot wings eating contest at Buffalo Wild Wings. There's more interaction with the pros than ever, and those is a different avenue of interacting with the pros. But before, we was just weighing fish, jumping around boats, putting them on a trailer, and going rigs. There wasn't any real interaction, but now you can actually hang out with them.
All right, I got you. It just, I don't know. I watched Boyd's explanation on BTL, and I don't know.
Yeah, let's Riz, let's take some IMs because I know you're blowing up right now.
Yeah. So there's been a common question amongst the message board. What's going on with the unionizing of you guys? Is that still happening? And this question kind of goes out for Gerald and Mike. Do you guys feel like you're really getting the voice amongst the decisions that you thought that you were going to have going into this?
You want to go first, Ike?
Yeah, I'll start. I mean, I can tell you, I'll take the second part of that, which is our voice. Having a voice is the utmost important thing that could ever happen in Major League Fishing and in professional fishing in general. The way that this league was set up is that we have a voice through an angler group. We all have a representative who's part of the group. I don't like to use the word union, but we have a true voice that can get together on issues and say, hey, yes, this is right. Yes, this is wrong. And as long as that is true, as long as we have a real voice, and I feel like it's happening, I'm going to support Major League Fishing to the end, man, because that is what we need. If you look at other professional sports, if you look at baseball, tennis, golf, football, hockey, they all have groups that have a voice, and that's what professional anglers need. But the day that we lose a true voice is that scares me. Because that, to me, is going backwards. That's going back to the BASS days. That's going back to the FLW days.
Right.
So things like, things like this classic issue, things like
I don't know. I don't know if this is true or if you can confirm it, but I heard there were certain boat companies that have already been blackballed from MLF or BPT.
I mean that's the kind of thing that scares me.
That would scare me too.
That scares me. But when it's operating correctly, like with the entry fee thing, right? We all got together. We sat in a meeting. We have a representative. We said, hey, man, we don't want to pay entry. This is a professional sport. That's ridiculous to pay entry fees. And it happened. When that process is working, that's what needs to happen. That's the future of the sport. So when it's working correctly, I'm 100% behind that format.
Yep.
But it has to work.
I just think I read the comments, right, and I see a lot of MLF guys getting on there like Gerald and supporting it, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Because it looks fun as hell.
It's
There's
fun.
no entry fees.
It's super fun.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks almost as fun as jumping a dike in basketball.
I would really caution just buying into everything without keeping your eye open. Because I'm very cynical. I'm old. I'm dying. I'm gray.
There has
My hair's gray.
There has to be
a lot of other things are going downhill.
Dude, you have eye mustache now. You didn't even shave your eye. I looked at that in the sun, dude. You got like eye mustache, bro.
That's a recurring issue right there.
Yeah, there has to be checks and balances.
Yeah, I would just keep. I mean, like I said, if and again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just heard that the classic band. I'm not a type of person that likes to be told what I can't do. You know what I mean? And to tell me I can't attend something, that seems a little weird. And like I said, boat companies being blackballed from it. What's next?
So somebody chimed in on the message board, Yankee Dave. He said that every angler is their own business entity, and they should be able to do whatever the hell they want. And I mean, it makes sense. You represent yourself. I mean, you have to do what's best for you. If your sponsorship obligation has you going to the classic to fulfill those needs.
I mean that's where it gets shady. And Gerald mentioned it. I mean, we are working for Major League. Major League Fishing is our company. It's our company, right? So we need to promote the company, and we need to see the company succeed. Where it gets gray is that question right there, like your hair. Where it gets gray is we also work for other companies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gerald, you work for a company, SWAT, right now, and you have to do what betters those guys, and you're doing an event right now. I work for Yamaha, and I work for Toyota, and I work for Basscat. I have to do what betters those guys because they're paying my bills. It gets even more gray when you own your own business, and it ties into that, right? So I have the Ike Foundation, which gets kids involved in fishing, right? Does it hurt me to not be at the Classic to get kids involved in fishing? Does that hurt? It hurts. It hurts.
Damn.
Right? Ike Live, right? What we're doing right now is my business. And I want to get people listening to this podcast, having fun, drinking beer, talking fishing, talking shop like we're doing right now.
Taking fishing rods out of the kids' hands.
Right. Taking what?
Because that's what you're saying?
No, get out of here.
No, I meant like from the bad guys. All right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, my business is Bass University. It hurts not being at the Classic. So it's gray. It's very that issue is very, very gray. It's very, very gray. I don't know that there's a right and a wrong answer to it right now.
Mike and Gerald.
Real quick, I want to comment on all that. I used to work for Shell before I quit my job and started professional fishing, and it was a huge corporation, one of the biggest businesses in the world. And they used to tell me all the time when I was just a peon at Shell, and I would say, hey, this is stupid. And I would have a comment on what I saw that was right in front of me, and they used to always respond to me, you don't understand big business. And I didn't, what it was, is I didn't have all the information. All I was doing was basing my opinion on what was right in front of me. And whenever I quit Shell and I started my professional fishing career, a lot of people don't know that at that time when I started, my title sponsor was Catalyst Handling Resources. And my deal with Catalyst Handling was you fish all you want, and when fishing season's over with, you're going to work for us. So that's a turnaround company, and we would basically go in these chemical plants and refineries, and we would shut them down, and we would repair them. So it'd be 7 days a week, 24 hours a day work until the job was done. And I took a position as a project manager over there. So I would fish, and then I would come home and I would work 7 days a week until it was time to fish again. And then I was a project manager, so I got to see the big business side, and then I got to see a guy in a reverse role telling me, hey, man, this is stupid. And I would sit there and think, this is what they were talking about. They don't understand big business, because I was controlling it from a different angle. And it's the same thing. As a fisherman, we're sitting here in Major League Fishing, and we don't understand why all these decisions are being made by Major League Fishing completely. Boyd's telling us these things are happening, and MLF organization management telling us these things are happening, but they're doing them with the ultimate end goal that we can't understand yet. And then for me to not fully understand every single thing they're doing, I promise you the public has no clue, and yet they have all these opinions about it. But if you would just understand that MLF has zero bad intentions, and I'm 100% confident in that all this is in the best interest of the league and the anglers and the overall business, that these people aren't out to scam anybody or get anybody over. Deals are being made to get to the next step, to get to ultimate end goal, and that's to have an organization where I can walk in a group of high school kids and encourage them to actually be a professional bass fisherman, because when you get to the big leagues, you can actually make a living, and this is what our sport is. And before, I couldn't do that. I couldn't look a kid in his eyes and say, this is what you need to be when you grow up, because it was a mess before. And that's coming from someone who didn't really fully understand it and worked for a living and then started a professional fishing career, and now I get it. And then see the changes that need to be done, and I'm really proud that MLF, I feel like that's their ultimate objective, is to make a professional sports league that actually makes sense for somebody to get there and do it.
Yeah, Riz, you got one more to get through.
Yeah,
one more.
Gerald and Mike, since you guys had to sign contracts for the MLF BPT, did you guys or did anybody else consider the option of seeking legal counsel for the option that you may want to get out of your contract before the end of its life? I'll
jump in and then I'll let Gerald answer it. I mean, I think most guys had it looked over by legal counsel. I know I did.
Has anybody actually tried to exercise that right of getting out yet?
Not at this point. Not at this point. And anyone, let me tell everybody watching right now. Anyone can get out. There's some stipulations in there, but at the end of the day, if you wanted to get out and go fish bass or go fish FLW or go start your own tournament trail, you could do it. I mean, there's some stipulations
that's
that
important
would be
for everybody
in
to
that.
know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you know,
Boyd ain't
me and
showing up
Gerald
at your
are
door.
like we're not like handcuffed to a post somewhere.
Right. Yo, Boyd.
No, we're not handcuffed to a post. I mean, everyone signed the same contract. That you know, at the end of the day, if you wanted out, you could get out. And I think that's important for everyone to know. You know, again, I'm going to get back to the key to Major League Fishing to me is that, you know, we have a voice and we have a say, and as long as that remains and is true, Major League Fishing will be a success. If that goes away, if that changes, that's when I'll start worrying about Major League Fishing. But at this point, as long as we have a voice and we have a say, we're good to go, man. We're good to go. I think we have a special. Do we have a special guest?
I don't know. Do we?
Yes, we do.
I think we have a special guest joining us. Do we?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't see him. Oh, we do. Hold on, Gerald. We have a special guest joining us in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen him in a while. You're not going to believe this, but he just beamed in from I think a galaxy far, far away. We have Stormtrooper joining us tonight. Stormtrooper,
Hello.
how are you?
Hello, Gerald. Small.
Good to see you, Stormtrooper. How's everything up there?
Not so well.
Not so well. What's the matter?
The rumor mill
Rumor mill.
told me you had an imposter. Last show, swagger jacking me.
We did?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
you did.
We did?
I have some questions for Gerald's four.
Okay.
Gerald,
Hey,
some are true and false, some are yes and no. This question is yes or no. If Boyd Duckett had a Kool-Aid line, would you drink from it?
yeah.
As suspected. Next question. How would Marty Stone finish Mark Zona in a fight? 1. Rear naked choke. 2. By ref stoppage via ground and pound. Or 3. Zona never showed up.
Zona never shows up.
That's correct.
Zana never showed up.
Yes or no? Has Boyd cured the blind with one touch?
What?
Has Boyd Duckett cured the blind with one touch?
As far as fishermen go, yeah.
True or false? Are you a new member of the new cult known as the Boyd Davidians?
No.
Does anyone know who's the Boyd Davidians?
The Boyd Davidians?
The Branch Davidians? Come on, Jesus.
No.
Who is more pure? Mary Magdalene or Shelley Sanders?
I don't know.
Thank you for participating in the questions, Gerald.
There you have it, Stormtrooper, everybody.
you
Wow. Thank you, Stormtrooper. Thank you.
As Brian takes off the screen.
Don't worry about it, Dave. Everybody knows it's you.
The gig is up, I think.
He's up.
The gig is up. Well, I tell you, I think, Gerald, I'm glad you called because there are
Dave's
definitely, I agree, you know, there are definitely there's a lot of division going on with the general public right now, and you know, I am agreeance that we need to keep pushing the sport forward. You know, so I agree with that. I think the other thing I want to mention, and I want to get your opinion on, is, dude, you got to remember, this is Major League Fishing. This is year one. You're right. This is year one. The amount of positives that are happening versus some of the small speed bumps, I think it's a really good momentum. You know, and dude, we got a great future ahead of us. What do you, Gerald? What do you see in the future with Major League Fishing? What changes do you see that are going to happen?
Well, I really think it's important that we get this feeder system off the ground and we give fellow anglers, tournament anglers, a chance to compete in it. And once I feel like they have a chance to be part of it, then you know they'll start buying into the concept. Right now, I feel like it's so isolated that people easily get offended. But I think once we get the feeder system started and everyone starts participating in it and everyone really starts to get behind it, and then we can really take this thing to the next level. And it's going to go to the next level no matter what because of all the positive things we're doing. But I really can't wait until everyone has a chance to be part of it.
I'd agree with that. And I want to say something else, Brian the Carpenter, which is, and you mentioned it a little bit, Gerald, which is the live coverage that MLF is doing, the content, the video. That to me is a huge part of Major League Fishing, why it's going to be the best. And I got to tell you something, dude, and I'm just going to be straight up honest with you because this is Ike Live, and you can't lie on Ike Live. Dude, you jumping that dike in North Carolina? Dude, that was the baddest fucking thing I ever saw in my life, dude. Like, that's the stuff I want to see.
Yeah.
That is what I want. Dude, I want to watch as a fan. I want to watch and I want to see dudes doing that. That's real. Dude, I want to see that raw shit.
But explain for those that haven't seen it, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, so Gerald, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'll make it modest. He jumped a dike.
That's rad.
To get into backwater. And believe me, dude, it was the most unbelievable thing I ever saw. But it's reality, it's competition, it's in the heat of competition. It's something he was comfortable doing that he did before. It was something I would never do in a million years. Dude, that's what propels sports. That's what, when you're watching a sport, professional sport, I don't care what it is, and you see an athlete do something amazing like that.
Moments.
You want to watch.
I mean, it's just
you want to watch.
That moment.
To me, a boat's a piece of equipment, and I'm going to do whatever I got to do to catch a bass.
Yes.
It's cool.
You know, I had practiced that area because the water was up, as you know, on Jordan in practice, and the water was over that levee. And then, I caught them I had some good bites in there, and I was going in there no matter what. And they was just saying it didn't hurt my boat at all. It's not hard to jump over.
And the cool thing is your marshal's unconscious for a little bit of time, too.
I asked him, I said, dude,
bounce a few fish off the deck.
Weigh your own fish.
20 pounds.
I asked him, I said, are you cool with this? And he said, dude, I'm 65 years old, but I'm not dead. Let's do it, brother.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
That's awesome. Dude, I honestly, I know you've caught a little slack for that and know some of the same trolls that are trying to break the sport down, hit you bad on that one. But, man, I loved it. There are not many things I'd look at in the sport of fishing that I wouldn't do, and that was one of them that I probably wouldn't have done.
Really?
So I looked at it, I was
totally
like,
do it.
I don't know.
Is it
man.
on YouTube? Like, can I see it? Is it on YouTube anywhere?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, we'll show after the show's over. We'll show it to you.
Ike, if you was in the boat with me and did it, you would say, this is easy, and you would start looking for all kinds of stuff.
Hey, I know. As somebody that's put a boat in the woods and put a boat on the bank and got ejected from a boat, I would say I would definitely do it. Probably, maybe.
Probably, maybe.
Probably, definitely, maybe.
Gerald, for his friend's sake, don't show him how to jump a dike. You don't think he's Fonzie already.
Yeah, it's not hard. You know, my first
it's not
my
hard.
first tournament I ever fished, I jumped a beaver dam in the tournament, and I convinced my co-angler that I had done it a bunch of times, and I had never done it before in my life. I had to sell the fact that I was so confident that I was like, dude, I do this all the time. And he believed me. And I jumped right in there, and in my head, I'm thinking, thank God that worked. And then after that, I was like, all right, I know what a boat can do now.
That's awesome.
That's what's up.
That's awesome. Well, Gerald, I appreciate you calling in. A lot of what you said I think is spot on, and I appreciate your support of growing the sport, which I think should be, in all this talk tonight, and it's going to continue on till 10:30, 11 o'clock, whenever the show ends. In all the talk, whether you're pro MLF or pro bass, I think growing the sport should be at the forefront of everyone's mind, and I think you believe in that, Gerald. I believe in that, and I appreciate you being real and being honest with us, man. It's awesome.
I appreciate you guys letting me talk about it, and most of the people that have something negative to say, once they get a chance to participate in it, they'll change their mind, and everyone's going to love this.
Awesome.
I like it. There you have it. Gerald Spohrer, everybody.
Gerald.
Catch some fish, bro.
Thanks. See y'all later.
You got it. Man, he's at Toledo this week. Ooh, it'd be a good week to be at Toledo. Spawning going on. Oof.
It's going out back.
It's going out back.
Staring at spreadsheets. I mean, Jesus.
Toledo's in what, Texas?
Bad.
Texas, yeah.
Then why does Robin always say "Holy Toledo" and he's talking about Ohio?
There's one there too.
That one's not as good.
Hey, do we want to take this call now? Or?
Yeah, let's do it. I'd like to continue it. Yeah, I mean, do we have IMs coming through? I mean, this is great
What about
conversation.
a break? We're an hour and 20 in.
We're an hour and 20 in?
Oh, yeah.
All right, you want to take a break?
And Andy Morgan's. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's take a break. Hey, come on back. And we'll take a break and reset, and I got a few things to shuffle around.
Okay. All right. So listen, you're watching right now. You're watching Ike Live. Listen to me. Hang in there. We're going to take a small break. We're going to take a pee break real quick. When we come back, Brian Carpenter, we're going to continue the conversation.
Yeah, we got Hank Cherry wants to talk to us.
Oh, we have Hank Cherry, a special caller coming in from BASS.
That's right.
We're going to continue the conversation about MLF versus BASS about halfway through the season. When we get through Hank Cherry and we're done that conversation, we're going to be talking to Andy Morgan, the GOAT, recent winner of the...
And Andy Morgan, the angler.
And angler. When we come back, hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live.
Hi, today we're going chest to chest in the Dr. Squatch lather test. On that half of Mike's impressive chest, we're rubbing him down with 3 name brand bars. The result? A sad, milky film of disappointment. How's that feel, Mike? You see, Big Soap cuts corners and strips out all the sudsy goodness in order to make production cheaper. But not Dr. Squatch. Don't worry, Mike. Dr. Squatch soap retains all the natural ingredients, which creates a rich, foamy lather, leaving your skin healthy, soft, and clean. Ooh, looks like Squatch is taking over this peck party. How do you feel now, Mike? Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. When we say it lathers, it f***ing lathers. You deserve glorious lather. Take the lather challenge for yourself today.
This time of year, I definitely recommend putting a little bit of this on your soft plastics too. There he is. Another one. Next cast. And that would be number 6. I'm addicted. I'll admit it. I'm straight addicted.
This might be bigger.
You think so?
Yeah. Feels bigger. I haven't even seen this thing yet. It doesn't want to come up. Don't break me off the rocks.
Oh, it's a... Oh!
27-incher.
He caught it.
28.
Oh my god, that's such a healthy fish. Look at this size. Put a little liquid mayhem on your crappie jig, and look where the stripers get it. You can't even see it, man. That might be a keeper.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh. Is he in my pocket?